So for $150, is the Nike LeBron Nxxt Genisus worth it? Let's find out. What's going on, guys? Noah here from Driveway Hoop Reviews, and today we have an outdoor extended review on the Nike LeBron Nxxt Genisus. Before we get started with today's video, I just want to mention there will be timestamps at the bottom of the video, so if you are looking for anything in particular about the Nike LeBron Nxxt Genisus, it will be listed below and you can jump ahead. But starting off with the uppers and how they felt on the Nike LeBron Nxxt Genisus, what we've got here is just a very simple upper setup. It's just a giant panel of textile reinforced with a ton of embroidery on it. The lace line is a speed lacing system, and it is just a mesh tongue with what looks to be some holes cut out in it, similar to the Nike Torch system, but it is not, since it is backed solid at the bottom. The tongue will differ per colorway. This colorway is the Monopoly collaboration, so it's got like a plastic on it, but I believe the normal ones are just fabric for the GR colorways. And then you do have a plastic Nike swoosh on the lateral side, and then you'll usually have, I believe, a King, the LeBron James King logo on the medial side instead of this 500 that's on this Monopoly pair. And then you do have just a small toe rand of fake leather going on the toe of the shoe. These uppers felt pretty good. You know, they had some issues. I did have some issues with it. This is a mid cut, by the way, and this padding is very significant in the heel. You do lock down really well. It is using the Nike Sphere system, which is a padding setup with a bunch of little holes cut out in the shoe to help with breathability and to help mold to your foot a little bit better. But yeah, as far as breathability goes, speaking of that, these do heat up a little bit. Not terribly, not as much as I thought, because this is a very just bulky, very protective setup, and you know, it played well. It did hold my foot in really well, and I had no issues with it whatsoever, other than the toe box is just very tight and you will get some like pretty good hammer toes wearing this. It's just very tight and very flat to the bottom. You can see it. There's just not a lot, you know, on that toe box. It's just quite flat. Even after a lot of break-in, it didn't really help. They're not super wide. They were just a little bit tight on the sides, but that did break in a little bit. Overall, you know, the uppers were good. I don't think I'd rate them great. I don't think I could rate them decent either. The only issue I really had was just, you know, the tight toe box and that being a little bit uncomfortable. But no pinching. I wasn't too sore when I was playing in these. These did lock down extremely well, and there was zero heel slip, so I would rate these uppers good. On down to how the cushion performed outdoors on the Nike LeBron Nxxt Genisus. I have been playing these for about 2 weeks now. And you do have a Phylon. They say it's Phylon, although I'm pretty sure it's Cushlon. And then you do have a Zoom unit. It is a Zoom Turbo unit in the forefoot. And then you do have also a carbon fiber shank, and it is bottom loaded in the midfoot. But this setup was actually pretty good. It felt very responsive, very bouncy. I had no issues with the impact protection. That was probably the biggest thing I would say, was impact protection was second to none on these. They were really quite good. I had no issues whatsoever with this. This whole setup, you know, the shank makes these a little bit clunky just because of how they are built. And we'll talk about that in the traction as well and how that factors into it. But these things are pretty rigid. There's not a ton of, you know, resistance here. So if you want a lot of, you know, protection and you like a long carbon fiber shank like that, I think you will like this setup. I think it's very forgiving on foot, and as a lighter player, I had no problem playing in these. So overall, I would rate this cushion setup as great. On down to the traction, which is probably the most important feature about this and what has the biggest pros and cons of this shoe. The traction is going to be this like multi-directional just arrow pattern. It's not quite herringbone. It's I guess you could say it would be, but it's very enlarged. And then you do have some solid rubber pieces on the toe, and then a couple on the heel as well. This is technically a full-length tread, although this thing feels like a decoupled outsole because this shoe is clunky. There is a lot of rubber here. It feels a little bit like a brick. The heel to toe transition is not very good on this, and I'm pretty sure it's because of that rubber, and possibly from that shank too being so long and narrow and spanning, you know, the entire midfoot and stuff. So The traction, as far as it, like, grip, though, it was honestly phenomenal. I was really surprised with that. I had pretty much no slip outs, it didn't pick up too much dust. I played these indoors a little bit, and they were also fantastic, which is really weird. But these were great for traction. The only issue was that heel to toe transition, it just having a lot of rubber. So overall, I would rate it good. It would honestly be great and phenomenal traction if it was more of a fluid ride, but I think because of how much rubber they put on this, that kind of bumps it down to a good. As far as the durability goes on the Nike LeBron Nxxt Genesis, this durability is going to be pretty dang good. I don't think you're going to get much better than this. This might be one of the most durable new basketball shoes to come out from Nike in a long time. You have this crazy thick outsole. Like I said, that is affecting the performance, though. You are paying for that with it being more of a clunky ride and it just kind of feeling a little bit boot-like. So you do pay for it in that, but you get a lot of outsole. It's extremely durable. Just looking at the wear, it looks like maybe it took off a little bit of the just micro gridding that was on the traction pattern, but otherwise this thing is going to hold up for a long time. The uppers are pretty thick too, and I think that embroidery will help protect it also. You've got a lot of layering in the uppers too. Cushion with that shank, it being more of a rubbery cushion, and you've got the zoom unit. This shoe honestly might be one of the best durable basketball shoes to buy if you're looking for something like that and don't mind that kind of old school LeBron feel from a shoe. But overall, yeah, this durability on this shoe is going to be fantastic. This is going to be great. As far as fit goes for the Nike LeBron Nxxt Genesis, they are going to run true to size, although the toe box is very flat and very narrow. So I think wide footers are going to pretty much have to go up a half size. There's pretty much no other option for you on that, but everyone else, you should be good to stay true to size. But my biggest takeaways for the Nike LeBron Nxxt Genesis is, number one, it's just got to be the heel to toe transition, the fluidity of the ride on this shoe, getting up and down the court, going fast, speed breaks and stuff. It's just a little clunky. It's not really built for that. I think this is more of a, big man shoe. People who like those retro shoes, like the feel of that, but want more cushion, I think this is a perfect option for you, honestly. It feels like one of those, but with zoom, with a carbon fiber shank, you get a little bit more out of it than those retro shoes. But yeah, the heel to toe transition, the overall stiffness of the shoe does kind of hurt it in my opinion and takes away from the experience of it. Second big takeaway for me is gotta be the cushion. This is phenomenal cushion. Honestly, I was surprised at how good it was looking at in the pictures, and just getting it on foot at first. I was like, but after breaking in, this is phenomenal cushion. I can't lie. This is very good. That shank really does help. It's not, necessarily built for the Speed Demon players. I tried to play my fastest in it. It was kind of slowing me down a little bit because of that outsole, but the cushion definitely helped and saved me from, just completely wearing out in my sessions. Last big takeaway for me is going to be the durability of the Nike LeBron Nxxt Genesis. This is phenomenal durability from top to down. I don't think you're getting probably a better, more durable shoe from Nike for that price. At all from any shoe they've offered so far. So maybe the Nike Street Flare, but that's China exclusive for my US people. This might be the best bet if you want one that lasts a lot of years. This would be the one to get. But that'll pretty much do it for today's review on the Nike LeBron Nxxt Genesis Outdoors. Let me know what you guys think of this shoe. Are you a fan of how it looks? Are you a fan of the mid-cut model? Do you like the Nxxt Genesis series, or I guess just the Nxxt series? And, should they even continue it? Is it even worth continuing? Is it worth the price of $150? In my opinion, I would say yes, actually. If you're the right type of player, I can't stress this enough, but if you're the right type of player, I do think you will like these. That old school feel, maybe you're a bigger guy, these will contain well, minus the toe box just being super flat and narrow. But yeah, overall, this shoe was great, and I've got a bunch coming up too. We've got the Nike Jaw 3 coming up next. We've got the New Balance Hezi Low V2 coming up next. I'm going to grab the Puma Halleys. I'm going to grab the Reebok Angel Reese shoes. Bear with me. They might be good, okay? And we've got a few more coming up. So let me know what you guys think. Comment down below what shoes I should be testing next. And any shoes I should be playing in for durability updates. Please let me know on that too. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.